You're joking, aren't you? It's the Teesside Chef.
Yeah!
Take it easy, everyone. It's not a real zombie. It's just my zombie meatloaf recipe. You know, for Halloween, the most pointless and overblown holiday of all. I have a large onion here, from which I'm slicing 2 large end pieces, and they're going to be eyes and teeth in a few minutes, while the rest of the onion gets chopped up nice and finely, in order to make up part of the head that the eyes and teeth will eventually sit in. I've put those as yet unformed skull contents to one side, and I'm going to cook the chopped onion in a pan with plenty of oil on a medium heat to soften, to which I will add 1 medium grated carrot and around 100 grams of finely chopped mushrooms, which I will cook along with the onion for a few more minutes before adding in 3 or 4 cloves of garlic to keep the vampires away, and a generous pinch of salt is gonna go in next to keep ghosts and demons away. And a good pinch of pepper to keep, well, anybody that doesn't like sneezing away, along with a pinch of dried thyme and a pinch of dried oregano, and a tablespoon of Worcester sauce. And I shall cook all of this for another couple of minutes before allowing to cool, because when cooled, I will be adding this veggie mix to 500 grams of mincemeat, which I will also season with a teaspoon of salt this time and around 1/3 of a teaspoon of pepper and 100 grams of blitzed oats, but you can use breadcrumbs here instead if you like less nutrients. And I want to add an egg in, but I'm mixing the oats in first, because if I add the egg on top of the oats, I'll probably find unpleasant clumps of oats in my final meatloaf, and that simply will not do. But as I've gone to all that trouble, I can add my large egg in now with complete confidence. And I want to add my cooked veggie mix in, but I don't want to do that now and crush those vegetables to death in my efforts to properly combine the egg. So I'll mix the egg in well first, and as I've gone to all that trouble, I can add my veggies in now with complete confidence before mixing everything together again for the umpteenth time. And I want to put this in the fridge or freeze it to firm up before forming the zombie head shape. But I forgot to put in my fresh parsley, so as I've gone to all that trouble, I can place this mix in the fridge or freezer for a bit to firm up now with complete confidence. And the firming process will help the forming process. And after the meatloaf mix emerges from the cold, I have a baking tray lined with baking paper, upon which, with wet hands, I will form a slightly scary skull shape. And this process doesn't take a lot of skill, really. Just make the top part bigger than the bottom part, and be sure to carve out large eye holes, a large nose hole, and a mouth big enough to hold numerous poorly aligned teeth. And you want to make sure that your cavities are nice and deep, after which we will apply thin streaky bacon in order to simulate the rotted and decomposing skin that zombies frequently seem to suffer from. Somebody should tell them about the wonders of moisturiser, really, and when applying this you should press down firmly in the facial cavities, but you don't have to make this all look perfect, because zombies are well known for their devil-may-care attitude to their appearance, so a few rough bits here and there will add to the unkempt realism. But you definitely should go around the bottom of the skull and tuck in any raggedy edges of the bacon underneath the meatloaf with a knife before baking in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius or 360 degrees Fahrenheit for around 40 to 45 minutes. And after this time, if your bacon's not as crispy as you would like it to be, you can always throw it under the grill for a few minutes to crisp up. And once out of the oven, we can begin to give our little undead chum some facial features, and the 2 end pieces I sliced off at the beginning will be 2 large eyes that will contain within enough onion to make teeth too. So once you've stripped the onion, you'll have 2 large eye pieces, which can be placed in either a convex or a concave way, and I prefer the sunken eyes look rather than the bulging, but it's up to you. And the onion remnants can now be chopped up to make teeth, and I have to say that this creation of mine does have some elements of a self-portrait, because I have teeth like a witch doctor's necklace also. And eyes are the window to the soul, so we simply must include a couple of pupils to ours here, and I'm using a couple of raisins to provide my zombie with a little more personality. And if I cut into it now, you'll see that this isn't just a gimmicky Halloween recipe, it's also a satisfying meal for the family, that will taste better than the brains of a high school student do to the walking dead. Happy contrived holidays, everybody. Sarah.